When you think of a house, you probably picture four walls and a roof, right? But what if that's not the best way? Today, we're looking at something that totally flips that idea on its head, the Asvikon Dome. So, is this really the home of the future? Let's dive in and see.
And they don't waste any time, do they? They come right out and say it. Welcome to the home of the future. I mean, that's a seriously bold claim. It's not just, hey, here's a cool new design. They're positioning this as the next big thing. So you gotta ask, what's backing up that kind of confidence?
And yeah, that's exactly what we're going to unpack. Because it's about so much more than just a cool round shape. The big idea here is, well, it's a total reboot of what a home is even supposed to be. How it works, how it feels, and, maybe most importantly, how it fits into the world around us. Okay, so first things first, we have to get this straight. This isn't just some passing fad in architecture. The whole idea behind the Asvikon Dome is framed as a whole new philosophy for living. And right at the heart of that philosophy is this one big word, sustainability. So what do they even mean by sustainable architecture in this case? Well, think of it like a mashup. It's taking all the cool, precise stuff from modern engineering and mixing it with designs that are literally inspired by nature. You put those two things together, and the goal is to create a home that's not just greener, but smarter too. And this quote, this really gets to the core of it all. The homes of tomorrow aren't made of walls. Wow, just think about that for a second. It's basically saying we need to stop thinking of our homes as just boxes, Boxes that cut us off from everything outside.
So, if it's not walls, what is it? Well, the first big idea they talk about is harmony. The whole point is that your house shouldn't be fighting against nature, it should be a part of it. Imagine a shape that just kind of melts into the landscape, Or having windows that are so perfectly placed they just flood the place with natural light and make you feel connected to what's outside all the time.
And that leads right into the second pillar, which is sustainability. This is kind of the nuts and bolts of that harmony idea. It's all about leaving a smaller footprint. With a dome, for example, you get amazing airflow, which helps keep things cool naturally. Plus, because of its shape, there's less surface area, which means way less heat escaping in the winter. And that, of course, means it's super energy efficient. And then there's the third pillar, creativity. This whole philosophy is a giant permission slip to just break free from the boring old box. The dome shape itself is a huge innovation. It opens up these incredible, inspiring spaces inside because you don't have to worry about all those pesky load-bearing walls getting in the way. Okay, so the philosophy sounds pretty amazing, right? But how do you actually build one of these things? Let's switch gears from the why to the how and take a look at what goes into building a dome.
What's cool is that the source material lays out a pretty complete picture. It promises to give us the lowdown on everything, from a step-by-step on how it's built, to the kinds of materials you'd use, some really cool design ideas, and even stories from people who actually live in them. Now, they don't give us like a super detailed blueprint or anything, but they do make the process sound pretty straightforward. It's a logical flow, really. You start with the foundation, then you put together that classic dome structure, you pop on the outer panels to seal it all up from the weather, and then you get to the fun part, finishing that huge open space inside.
All right, so we know how it's built, but what's it like to live in one? I mean, what's the day-to-day experience? Let's shift gears again and really focus on the benefits they claim you get from living the dome life. This really breaks it down. When you put a dome home next to a traditional one, you see the pitch pretty clearly. They're way more energy efficient, mainly because there's less surface for heat to escape. They're also naturally super strong. That geodesic shape is brilliant at handling things like heavy wind or snow. And maybe the biggest difference, while regular walls separate you from nature, the dome is all about bringing you closer to it. And out of all those cool benefits, there are two that they keep coming back to over and over again. Number one, the crazy energy efficiency. And what does that really mean? It means you save actual money on your bills. And number two, it lets you live a lifestyle that is genuinely better for the planet. It's a real deal, eco-friendly way of living. Okay, let's pull all these threads together. We've talked about the philosophy, we've looked at how they're built, and we've imagined what it's like to live in one. So, what does it all mean for the future of our homes? Is this really a brand new shape for living?
When you boil it all down, the ultimate promise here is, well, it's simple, but it's also incredibly powerful. It's this idea that we can use smarter design to build a greener future, literally, one house at a time. It's a vision where your home isn't just a place to live, it's something that actually makes a positive impact on you and on the planet.
And that really leaves us with one last thing to think about, doesn't it? The Asvikon Dome, it's a pretty compelling vision for what's next, all built around these ideas of harmony, sustainability, and creativity. So it kind of makes you wonder, right? When you think about the future, what shape is your home going to take?